So good evening, Sakshi. Thank you for being the speaker here today at our platform. So her name is Sakshi Saxena. She's an HR professional and associate CIPD. She has done her MBA in HR. She's executive education program from MIT Sloan School of Management. She's master in talent acquisition, talent management, performance management, L&D, employee engagement, and so much more. These are few things I have mentioned. Yes. And she is also passionate about HR. She's her motto is to know the organization goal and align it with HR processes so that organization as well as HR and the company as whole can achieve what is the aim of. So here, without much ado, over to you, Sakshi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sushma, for all your kind introduction for myself. And it's really nice to know about Brain City and Dubai Job Hunts and the family. I'm really glad that I got connected here. And thanks for all the support until now. I would like to start the session. I am not so sure everyone is aware of what topic they are here for. So just to introduce, I would be taking you through the definite job search while you are in Dubai, or if you are outside Dubai, what should be the steps you should follow while you are out or while you come here as a job seeker, and yes, some survival tips while you stay over here. Since this topic is mostly linked to those people who are new entrants or are looking for jobs in Dubai, I would like to ask a question. So I would like the participants to raise their hands, especially those who have come to Dubai for the first time in search of job. So can I have the raised hands, and can I know what would be the number?
Yes, you can raise your hands who are first timers in Dubai. Okay. So we have Sumaira, Sandeep. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the first timers.
Okay. And so okay, these are the first timers. So I would like to know your first time in Dubai. How many of you are outside Dubai and would want to come to Dubai for job? Dubai or UAE. I think Dubai is the most fascinating city, and I have been here. It always comes out to be Dubai, but okay.
Okay, Ravi says Ravi wants to come to Dubai.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, there are some people who are joining from India as well, Sakshi.
Yes. So have they ever been to Dubai in terms of job, or they are just looking for better opportunities whenever it comes on their way?
Yes. So who wants to come to Dubai?
Worked in 5 years. Wow.
Okay.
Very good. So you can please contribute while we are on the call.
15 years, he said. Sorry, 15 years. Okay, but I think
wow.
he also mentioned that he wants to come to Dubai. Yes, so Sandeep says yes, I am.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so there are quite a few, Sakshi.
All right. Okay. To start with, why I was asking this question is, as we all know, Dubai is a very fascinating city. Everyone would want to come to Dubai to start on their work. Most of it is because everyone knows there is great security. The region provides a lot of security and the good lifestyle, the infrastructure, not only to yourself, it's also for your loved ones. So it's important if you are looking for a job here, what should be the approach you would take to look for jobs. So let's go into the topic. So what I would say is while you're looking for a job, there are particular steps. Everyone has a plan in mind, and that's the reason they are looking for a jobs in any country, any city. I would say, in UAE, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi have been a very fast moving job market, because but at the same time it's a little expensive compared to the other embeds, and that's why it's also important while you look for the jobs, what are you looking at, and are you prepared better while you look for the jobs, or while you are in the job, or you take up the job within the initial days. So I would like to focus on more of how the job seekers should apply for the job. So is your approach an average approach? Are you looking out for a job and want to stand out in the job you want to contribute to? So I think it's very important to understand as a job seeker what your plans are. The very first thing as a job seeker, so I would like to highlight on a steps what you should go through, and one of them is understand the job portals. So, I think every country, in every country, we have some portals which are specifically looked at by the HR professionals, the recruiters, to hire the people. And that's why you need to understand the job portals which will give you an opportunity in the industry you are looking for a job, in the city as well. So if you are looking at so if it is Dubai and UAE, I think Naukri Gulf, I think most of you would know, because some of you have already been here. So Naukri Gulf has to be all updated. Your details on the Naukri Gulf should be updated. And the LinkedIn profile which is created should be optimized to what you are actually looking for and what your profile you want to market. So since it's a time of branding yourself, obviously visibility and credibility is built through your experience, and I think LinkedIn is a good profile, a good platform where you can build that throughout your career. So yes, LinkedIn. I think most of the recruiters do use LinkedIn for poaching, for hiring, headhunting. So I think LinkedIn is a good platform. The next is the Gulf Talent. I think that's also one of the very known portals which in this region. Okay, so in this region, which you need to be aware of, update your details, and yes, you will keep having an updates on the vacant positions which you can apply. Indeed, yes. So I think Indeed is one of the platforms. Indeed, Gulf Talent. These are the platforms where you can. Most of the other vacancies from the different career sites are accumulated in one portal, and you can apply in the link. You will directly be connected to the career portal, and there you can put in your details. One of the very specific to the industry, specific to this region portal is Byte.com, specifically to specific industries. But it is a good job portal, and it also, like LinkedIn, you can recommend that it also facilitates that option of seeking inputs from your managers, or feedback of recommendations. All of that is possible in Byte. So once you understand the portal where you are applying for jobs, I think the next step you have to do is plan what you want to do, or what is your career goal, what are you looking at. I think if you see an old school job search technique, is always you will look at what experience you hold and what you're looking at to contribute in any organization, maybe backed up from your experience. And if you're using if you want to follow the same stream where you are in, so it's always good to have examples on all of your skills which you probably have accumulated. And if you are a fresher, you probably can give examples on your contributions during your education, while you probably maybe cultural events, or it could be your projects, which you. So it's important to know what skill you bring in. It's important to have examples on the skills you want to contribute. Uh, so okay. Anyways, these are you need to plan on this on your job hunt skills. Obviously, also thinking about what your career goals are. The third best important thing, what I would say for, I mean, it's like a tip, which is pay attention to what resume and the cover letter you are sharing with the recruiter or the consultant or the companies. Um, I would suggest everyone at any stage, at any level, it's always better to proofread your cover letter or a resume from probably a friend, or take a professional advice, um, or refer to a consultant, because I think that's the first thing everyone goes through, unless if you're using some modern tools like having a video which talks about you on a LinkedIn or any other photos. So it's always important, yet CV, resume, cover letter are very important, and it's important to read through what you have done written in the resume is apt. It's important to define the dates from date to date clearly. It's important to define the designations and the roles clearly in the resume. And so the first thing what I would like to advise to all the job seekers is, if you are out of UAE, so start applying jobs before coming to UAE. uh, it's hard to if you come to UAE, maybe some of the Emirates are not that expensive. You might be able to manage, um, but it's always better to be planned before. If you get an opportunity in some, there are many organizations where an information interview or an interview on Teams, Skype can be done, and you can directly come on a visit visa, not a visit visa, sorry, employment visa. However, it's not necessary. You might be lucky to get a job while you are outside UAE. So you can still keep your job search on using these portals. Keep yourself updated. Uh, One of the thing is, yes, always consult an expert. So if you are planning to come to this country, if you know anyone, keep in touch with the concern. Have a good networking skills to network with such, especially if you are in particular industry. You need to know which industry you are looking at, and then try to connect to people in that industry through LinkedIn, or any other networking channels. I think we have WhatsApp groups, there are business groups, so you can choose to uh, get involved into such platforms. Okay, so one thing also what matters is, when you come to Dubai, or before you come to Dubai or UAE, it is important that you know what are the documents which are needed to, and before you, I mean, if you have to apply for a job, or if you are looking to get in, start working soon, then that means there are some basic information, some documents which are mandatory uh, to get you a visa, so that you can start immediately working. Otherwise, you might delay on getting the documents, which can hamper your stay, and then you might have to extend if in case you are on a visit visa. So it's important that you prepare for the documents what is needed and how apt it is. So it's important to research about it, and it's important what are the documents, be aware of that. It's important to get in touch with, if you have already got a job, then research is important on the company. So if you supposedly do not get a job while you are outside, so I have seen many. I think UAE being a fascinating city, everyone do travel to UAE, and then they start looking for a job. I think most of the common ways of having applying jobs is online. But I would also suggest as a tip that you need to plan your visit to the companies, because not everyone. If so, I would say, as per the research, 80% of the jobs are being closed through referrals or networkings. If you see, if you are going and applying on the portals, I think of which you have only 20% of chance. And if you are not applying with the details with the right required details, with key skills, which supposedly if you are looking for a particular job and you have not highlighted those keywords in your resume, probably you might not even get a call. So you might think that I am apt for this role, but you are not. So it's very important. The key points you are mentioning on your resume is matching. It's very important how you are writing your resume. Is it customized to what you're looking at? Probably sometimes you on the LinkedIn you'll have the vacancy. So if it suits your requirements, so are there those keywords which helps you get that job better? Because I think everyone knows that there are portals which pick up these keywords, and because of which probably if those keywords are not in your CV, probably your CV might not even come out or as in the preferred lot of CVs. So that is some of the tips, and one of the other tip I would want to also share is it's important to do a research on the company. Supposedly if you get a job and you might feel, okay, I got this job and this is what I plan to. So you should know, first of all, what are your expenses. You should know what are the salary standards. Probably you can do a research on what kind of salaries are paid for that a particular role. And most importantly, also this research on the company website. You should, I would always suggest try to network regularly with the people who are in the system. I think some of the very good platforms like Glassdoor, where you can get some reviews on the organization. You can do that by probably connecting with the recruiter from who has posted the job, or maybe you can just maybe hits up on the applications, and in the sense, I think networking helps a lot to understand whether you are at a right place or you are going to be land on at a right place. It's important because sometimes the experiences might or might not be in your favor. You should be aware that if you get a job, it's important that you need to hold a valid e-visa or a work permit. You cannot just join without having a e-visa or work permit. And if you do, you should understand there must be some emergency or something, but most of the times it is not preferred, because UAE also has a wage protection system wherein the salaries goes through a particular portal, and they are linked to your labor ID and the entity of an organization. So that's too technical. I would not want to go detailed into it, but yes, it is important to be aware of these basic things. I would highlight this because I have one of my friend who went through an experience. So she came in here and probably just for 4 months, she kept working in an organization thinking that she's trying to bring in good framing the policies and other things. So since it was her first job and she was not so sure, she was on her husband's sponsored visa. She realized the organization had been taking employees, onboarding people who were on visit visa. And first 2 months they were so it was a more of a recruitment consulting firm, and they used to hire, the onboarding, everything was done. First 2 months, the employee was told, you are good, really good. They were given cash as a salary for the first month. And from on the second month, some got, some did not, depending on the profits. So on the third month, they were told, oh, you're not performing because the candidates are not as per what our requirements are. And on the fourth month, they were terminated. Third month, they were terminated, and they were all communicated that their visa is in process. However, none of the visas were also applied. So it's very important to do a research. It's important because most of these. This friend of mine was not paid for 4 months, but then she was later paid when she tried questioning them, and she already had signed a job offer, and she had also questioned about how people are not getting these salaries and they have not been. I would say it's not that all the organizations, but it's also important. It's your responsibility. If you're going to join somewhere, please do a research on where you are also going for an interview. It's very important to know the background. And I would like to specifically also highlight on the documentation part, because I think those people who are coming to this region, they are, I think 80% of people are not prepared on what documents they should hold, they should have before hand. And some of them are very important. In the current, I believe there are some changes which keeps happening based on the updates from the regulations, regulatory bodies. But yet the basic things should be in place, which I believe everyone should pay close attention to. I would say it's not only for the new job seekers, it's also for for those who probably might have been in the country for a long time in past. I believe someone was there here for 15 years, because in past some of the documents were not necessarily required, but now it is required. So everyone would know, yes, cleared colored passport copy is needed, a white background photograph is needed. Standards are aware, people are aware everywhere. So you can go to any Photoshop and get that photo for yourself. But the other most important documents I would say is, one, you should always carry a medical fitness from your home country. Because there are some specific nationalities where it is needed to be presented. You should also carry some of the ID proofs. Like for some of the nationalities, it's important that you have your home country ID proofs with you. And the attested education certificate is what the most important document I would say as of now is what you need to take care of. The educational certificate has to be attested from your home country and from UAE. So what I mean is, it is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs attestation of UAE has to be there on your certificate. So ideally, most of these certificates would have like four attestations. One would be from your home country, maybe a notary attestation, and then from your home country, the Ministry of Education would attest it. And then from your home country, UAE, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, UAE will attest it. And then your certificate will come to UAE, and then here again one more stamp of Ministry of Foreign Affairs UAE from UAE has to be attested. That's when the document is complete. Actually, some of the countries also have a red seal on it, but unless these stamps are there, I think that the education certificate is not attested. And it's important that you know that the highest degree is. It's preferable to have the highest degree attested. And one of the reasons, it's easier to get the 12th certificate attested and all, and get because it takes maybe less money and less time. But it is still preferred, if I would say, from an HR perspective, because it does impact the costs of an organization on the trade licenses, because it impacts your renewals and all. So it's always preferred. Most of the organizations might push you for getting your higher degree attested. So it's always good to have that in place before you arrive in Dubai, or if you are applying for a new job and it is not yet attested, so please do go ahead and get it attested.
So Sakshi, thank you
yes.
for sharing this information. I have a question here. Since you shared about the certificate attestation beforehand, the person arrives in UAE. My question is, what happens if the person is already here and doesn't have a certificate attested?
I think that is how most of the cases I've seen have been going through. What happens is every attestation will take at least, so some of the countries takes 3 weeks, some of the countries takes 2 weeks. I think the 12th certificate will take just a week. But yes, it does delay your process of application of visa, and you might lose out on an opportunity while you probably the organization is in need and someone has to join immediately, and that vacancy might or might not stay. So you might lose out on an opportunity. So it's important that you are prepared on these elements and you do not waste on any time, even including your expenses. You can join soon and you can probably start earning during that stay. So that is, I think I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, and does it impact somewhere, like if like it's not possible to get the visa without a attested certificate?
So I would not say that it's not possible to get get a visa without a certificate attested. But yes, there are very few positions, and they are unskilled labor positions which you will. So you will have a visa which will have a visa designation which will hamper a lot of things, like people will not get they will not be able to get their family here if the visa is not right, or they cannot even travel to Oman because it's important that you need to have the right designation on your certificate. So maybe in hurry people might choose, okay, let's go ahead with the visa, but I would say, so visa designations and the designations, one of the also topics I would want to just touch upon is both of them can be different. So don't be so much adamant on what that designation is. It should be related to your profession for sure, and to nearing to your level of what you expect. But yes, even I think follow-up clerks, it's important that you need to have visa, sorry, a degree attested. Otherwise, you will not get that. So I think there are very few positions like messengers and office boys which are, or drivers, which are left with the, in fact drivers are still considered in semi-skilled professions. So I think all of these totally in total impact the trade licenses and the related costs of the company, which I think it's too much a detail to share, but yes,
Okay.
I think that's the reason the regulatory bodies have decided that it has to be probably mandated. So,
Okay.
so
Thank you
it's
for that.
mandatory to have these certificates attested. So from wherever you are coming, it's always, if you are not, supposedly many a times it happens that some of these people, most of the first thing is those people who are looking for jobs here mostly are coming at a very early age, and I think that's the right age to come in, so that you start your career and you build over here. Um, but yes, so when you are coming in, maybe you might or might not hold your degree. So if you do not hold a degree, you can probably get with your 12th or 10th certificate attested. But it's always good to upgrade once you have got the certificate attested. Please, if you get a job, get in touch with your concerned HR and the PR. They can probably get it updated into your records. It's not only good for you; it's also good for the organization. So in both the sense. So that is what I would say. There is also one of the additional document which is very important, especially for specific industries. I think it was mandated for everyone earlier, and but then later it went on hold, which is a good conduct certificate or also a police clearance certificate. So I am from a financial institution. I work with Sharaf exchange currently. So it's mandatory for all the employees to furnish their police clearance certificate, which means from in last 2 years, it's a mandatory certificate which is required as per the central bank, because the past 2 years wherever you were present, you need to furnish your police clearance certificate. So it's always good to be prepared with these documents before you come in here, because there are ample opportunities in this region, and especially on an administrative front and an accounting front, you will keep getting in opportunities in this region. So if people are looking, especially freshers and those who think that this is a place for them, better be prepared with all those documents to avoid any kind of delay in onboarding and or any kind of expenses delay, because it's difficult to survive as well. Sometimes you never know, you will not always have a very apt benefits from each organization you might get a job in, but how will you survive? So you need to be planned for it. So I think I would also like to touch upon, for those people who already have traveled, supposedly already have a job, got a job, but then have to survive for the initial few days. So some of the tips, survival tips, I would say is plan your timelines. Again, if you have your documents in place, it's easier to plan your timeline. So if you know that if you're on a visit visa and you are going to get your supposedly you got an offer and the visa application is in place. One most important thing is everyone should know is, unless a change status is what you have received, until such time your old visa, if you're on a visit visa, that still remains live. And if you have crossed that day, you might be incurring some fines, and these penalties are on like I think 200 dirham for the first day, and then every day it gets 100 dirhams. So you need to be aware of this so that you do not end up into other expenses which you might not even be aware of. So surviving for surviving, you need to be prepared, and it's important to plan your timelines. So if you have some average living cost, if you are looking at Dubai or Abu Dhabi, so then in that case you should be aware of what are the metro transportation costs, like metro, taxi, bus, what are the zones and what are the minimum costs. Will you be able to survive with that, or which are the industries where you are looking at, which are the areas you want to stay there, and you can manage all of this. And if you hold an international driving license, what you have to do is probably you have to go get the test done, have some classes, get the test, and then convert the license. So that's what it is. And yes, those people who have been hired from the home country, it's you should know that the company can sponsor you, and you can directly come on board on an entry permit or a work permit. Lately, during this pandemic and the crisis situations, it had been difficult for the organizations and the immigration to pass through some of these visa applications, and that's why it was I think most of the people were told, if you are looking for a job and you've been shortlisted, it's better you come on a visit visa so that we can convert you, otherwise it would take longer. So I think that was due to the crisis situation, but it's surely a temporary phase, and I hope everyone stays well during this time. And surely this country is an amazing country, so they take care of their people around, so that's a good thing. And one also most important thing I would like to highlight as a survival tip, when supposedly if you are in job and you have got a job, so you should know about the UAE labor laws, the leaves you are eligible for, if you're eligible for an overtime, what kind of misconducts can lead to what kind of disciplinary procedures, separation types, how would you, what is the way of, right way of separation, gratuity benefits, any other things if it might apply. Recently, I think from past 1.5 to 2 years, the government has gotten some kind of trainings where 40 minutes or so training is being given to all the new job, new visa holders are being trained on the UAE labor laws. However, it's only for some level of or designations of jobs. Maybe for the a little higher level, you might or might not go have that training. It's called Tauji training. So it's always good to be aware of it. Maybe your contract might not have all the details. So it's always while you survive during the initial days, it's important to do a research on all of it. That's what as I would like to mention. So in short, it's important before you come, and then while you stay, and then at the end while you have got through a job, it's important to be aware of basic things, basic procedures, which will help you, achieve your goal faster. So these are some additional tips I mentioned. Sorry for the background noise.
Yes, so yes, Sakshi, thank you. That is an amazing, so much of info. I have noted down so many points, and I'm sure everyone else has done that, because it's an important topic. There are so many things we need to take care of before we arrive or take a job here in UAE. Now, my next question is, how does job portal's profile work? Is it important to fill in all? Can I just
Oh, I think that's very important. That's the place where everyone gets a chance to brand yourself. Many times we see the job seekers. It is quite a cumbersome process of updating all your details in each and every job links which you might get probably on Gulf Talent or Indeed. But it's important what you highlight and what you put is in details. Also, when you're emailing to a company directly, it's important that you put in some specialization or your contribution or your skills, what you can bring in into an email. It might be easy to just send an attachment with no message or no signatures, but that does not send the right message about you, and probably your profile is eliminated then and there. But you might have something to contribute. So do not, procrastinate, or maybe I would say be lazy in getting your details updated on those lengthy job portals links where you need to update all the detailed basic information. That is what my advice would be.
That's great. Thank you for that response. My next question is it important to, no, you, sorry, just, okay, how is the gratuity calculated if someone is looking out, or if someone is asked to leave?
Okay.
What are the options?
All right. So in terms of the separation, the gratuity in this region has been calculated. You get eligible for a gratuity only if you complete 1 year. And it varies from a free zone company to a free zone organization to a mainland or LLC organization. So if it is a free zone, yes, the first 5 years of your service, you get eligible for 21 days of a gratuity pay on your basic. However, if you are in a mainland, I think so there are slabs. So first 5 years is 21, and after that is 30 days on your basic. However, your tenure matters. So the calculation changes if you're from 1 to 3 years. So it will be 1/3 of 21 days, which is like 7 days of your gratuity on basic. Then if you are between 3 to 5 years of working, then it would be like 2/3 of your 21 days, which is ideally 14 days. So you get eligible for 14 days of your now, since you very right question which you mentioned is about about the type of separation, which is so the gratuity paid does change if you are terminated. Yes, you get eligible even if you have a less number of years of experience. Your gratuity calculation is on 21 days. However, if you resign during this tenure, it's based on these bands. So if it would be 1/3, 2/3, 21, and 30. Like that's what your calculation would matter. I think to go in detail, I think Google has enough examples which can give you an apt answer to this uh, question. But yes, overall, this is the bands.
And thank you for that 5 days, 14 days, 7 days, and 21 days explanation. That is really important. Thank you for that. And another question that comes to my mind right now is, how is the being in contact, like if you are in the country, if you have joined the job, how important is it to stay in communication, like if I'm not keeping well, or if I'm not able to join the work, how is it
Yes.
important? Does it impact?
Yes, yes, it does. It does. And that's how I mentioned that you need to be aware of the labor laws. And you need to be aware of the misconduct, the labor laws, the leave patterns. So first 6 months as a probation, everyone would know, unless it has been written that it is for a prescribed time, unless you get a letter which says that you're not confirmed. So first 6 months is the probation time. That is when you're not eligible to take any kind of leave, any kind of annual leaves. Actually, annual leave applies only once you complete 1 year and you accumulate 30 days. However, and for the first 30, for the first year, usually it is 2 days calculated per month. If supposedly people would want to take some leave after 6 months. So first 6 months, no leave is allowed. If you take any leave, even if it is a sick leave, please do not fight for it. It is a loss of pay. That's what the law says. And another thing about loss of pay is what I would like to highlight, and is also a part of a misconduct, is if you take 7 consecutive such absence, such leave is there, especially when it is not informed and unapproved leave. The company has a right to, that's at any stage actually. It's not that it's only a bit while you are at probation. At any stage, it could be you might have worked for 10 years in an organization, and if you do not follow and you just abscond, so you are not eligible. You can be terminated on an immediate basis under Article 120. So Article 120, you can probably, people can go and read. It is about, you can get terminated and you might not be eligible for any kind of benefits you might have earned. It could be gratuity, leave, or your salaries. So it's important to be aware of these misconducts. And so these are consecutive days. Also, people should know that non-consecutive 21 such days also will lead to the same outcome. So it's important to follow the company policies. It's important to follow the labor laws. And if there is anything, stay in touch with your company, stay in touch with your manager, stay in touch with your HR so that they can help you and guide you through your process.
Thank you. And last question from my side, is cover letter important?
So if you are sending an email to the company directly or to passing it on through a friend, it's important to put the cover letter, because it gives you a brief snapshot about yourself. Maybe that's what the keywords and your brief on the cover letter will probe a recruiter to go through your CV. If it is not interesting, probably the recruiter might not even want to go through your profile. So it's important to have a cover letter. But yes, if you are applying on portals, I don't think it is like mandatory to attach a cover letter. You can go and just have your detailed CV. But yes, that's so what it makes the change there is you detailed out, or you detail all the experiences and the brief of your experiences, your education and everything in the portal itself. So that becomes your cover letter. So I think that's the reason it's not mandatory there to upload a cover letter, but it's always good to have a set uploaded, which especially for specific higher level positions, it might make a difference for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Sakshi. Okay, so it has been a wonderful journey till now. There are so many questions I have got answer for, and you have shared so much. There are so many notes. So next question we'll take from audience. Now Ravi has asked 3 questions.
Okay.
First thing is he's 58 years old. Is there any chance of getting a job now?
I believe, Mr. Ravi, I like your enthusiasm, and this region does. So there is a retirement age of 60 to 65, and I think there are opportunities for you as a consultant to support some of the organizations in the profile you have been in, or the contribution you can make as in terms of the skills. But if I see, it's difficult also to go and apply into the companies and go get into a job unless there is a referral or a particular skill which you bring in, which is very niche or unique. I think consulting is the best way for you to look for jobs. I might be wrong. Maybe someone else would want to answer this.
Yes. So that's what his next question is, like, applied a lot but no response, and I'm trying to get it through the contacts. Is my approach correct? So I think that you have already answered.
Yes. I think that is what it is. I think you should focus on getting branding your skills. So more as like a consultant. So not necessarily consultant means you need to own your or you have to be a freelancer, but you can be as a consultant to an organization for a particular specialization you are into.
Yes, okay, thank you. And the last question from his side is, are the visas open for UAE currently?
I think visas are open. I don't think there is any issues in the visas. However, I think there have been lately some changes in some of the nationalities being processing of visas. So I think we heard for some of the regions lately they were put on hold. Somewhere on hold have been opened up, like Bangladesh. So I think the regulations will keep changing, and currently I don't think there is any issues with the visas. But yes, there could be some delays in the immigration passing through for specific nationalities, and I think that takes a little longer for a visa application, but nothing beyond that, I think.
Okay, thank you for that response. So Ravi, your all 3 questions have been asked. Next question is from Anu. How is the market for HR jobs? Where and how to network for a job in Dubai, as Anu will be coming to Dubai in April?
I think, Anu, for HR jobs, I think the market, as I mentioned, there are ample opportunities for HR, finance, admin profiles here in UAE. And as I already mentioned, it's always good to be prepared in advance. Try applying in all of these portals, put all your details, try and get in touch with people. I think this is one of the steps where you have connected to Dubai job hunts. So stay connected. I'm sure you will get through, because there are opportunities. Maybe lately I've been seeing Abu Dhabi opening up the market, the labor market, job market opening up very well. So I'm sure you'll pass through, you'll get through something for sure.
Yes, thank you for that. Next question is from Arun. He's asking, is clearance certificate mandatory?
Okay, so I would say it's not mandatory, but for some of the organizations, for some of the institutions, it's mandatory. For example, the financial institutions, which I mentioned. So I am currently into the financial industry. As per central bank, it's important to have a clearance, good conduct certificate, which is police clearance certificate. So even if the concerned have been in Dubai, has to provide the police clearance certificate from this region. So or wherever you have been. So it's important for some industries, but may not apply for all. So it depends on which industry you are looking at to go.
Sure. Next question is from Isaac. Sorry, that was sound from outside.
No.
So next question is from Isaac from Ghana. He's asking how to get an accounting job. So I think whatever profile.
I agree. I think I have already answered. You will have ample opportunities here. Please go through all the portals. I think this is a good place, great place to work. So you will surely find out jobs, Isaac, in this profession. Yes, accounting jobs are lots. So
yes, great. Next question is from Sumaira. She's asking how to find work from home jobs.
Work from home jobs. Okay, I think that's a very tough question. and why would I say that? Because the current pandemic, the crisis has really made a lot of change in the behaviors and how the organizations are behaving. So I think a year before, if we would have asked the organizations that you should, would you want your staff to start working from home, they would have said no. But now I think most of the organizations are preferring for the safety of their employees and also following the regulations. So I believe the market will open up for the work from home jobs. And there are some of the other platforms, especially I think there are some of the organizations who support specifically work from home, especially for the new, I think, recent mothers and those who have been with a gap for some time were not able to work. For those people, work from home jobs are there, but surely you would not find them on these portals. I think that would be difficult for as of now. It's not yet trending that you'll find the jobs on these portals, which I have mentioned lately during my session. But it's a good thought. I think as the trends might come up, and we will have such jobs also populating our portals.
Sure. Okay. Next question is from Anil. What are the key factors that candidates should consider in searching for a job during this pandemic, and how to trust the opportunities which are available?
So key factors, I would like to reread the question. So key factors is what?
Key factors that candidates should consider while searching for a job during pandemic.
Oh, while searching for a job and during pandemic, I think those people who are outside UAE and are looking for the jobs in UAE right now, I think the key factors remains the same. You should be aware that you might face delays in your visa applications. If you're not prepared on your documentation, that might make your survival a little more expensive here. And if you are the one who has been in this region and have been affected by the by this pandemic crisis, maybe. I would suggest, I think that the market is going, I mean, it's getting better, and maybe you can plan yourself out, you can plan your trip to your home country, come back, keep applying and stay connected. And yes, once you, if you get a right opportunity, come back and join the right opportunity if you think that where you can contribute your skills to. So
another question from Anil. Yes, sorry.
Okay, no worries. Please continue. Yes,
Okay.
I think I am not able to see the messages, or there are too many, so I have not gone through all.
It's fine. It's fine. I have taken note. So next question is, would you recommend switching jobs in the current situation?
Very good question. I would not recommend.
Okay.
It's not that, I mean, people can switch jobs, and people have been, and there are some of the organizations, because they laid off, and then they suddenly the market is opening up, so they have started taking up. But I might be wrong, but what I think is, it's good that where you are, you stay, you can, if you are able to contribute well there, and there is no importance of you shifting from that place, it's better to stay there, unless you get a really good opportunity, and you know the brand you are going to is has a good culture. As I mentioned, do a research on the Glassdoor about the organization, the culture of an organization. It really helps. It's important, the alignment of your own culture and your own values are with the organization, so it's be prepared.
Sure. Thank you. So Sumaira had asked question about work from home jobs, and she has put another question saying which organizations or platforms should she be applying on?
Oh, I think for work from home, I think you will have to. As of now, what I can advise you is maybe you can go to WeWork, also freelancers.com probably. I think those are the portals, Upwork, where you can go and look for the projects which interests you, and you can apply there. But they might be short term. I have not as such probably known anything which is specifically you can apply for work for home jobs kind of portal yet. But it's I think, I'm sure this pandemic someone might be thinking of getting this in place, whereas Indeed, if you see Naukri Gulf, Byte, Gulf Talent, all of these are, if you see most of these positions you will have is not from work from home. It will be where you are based in that location. One of the also reasons I would say is while you're working in the office, it impacts the productivity, because you stay connected with your team. I think an old school thought, but I had gone through this MIT Sloan executive program of leading change and organization. There's a law of propinquity, wherein it's mentioned the productivity improves if you are together, if different teams stay connected, if teams are interacting with each other and they sit together. It's important for them, their seating to be in the same place, because it helps them, those teams, to be connected well. I think that's why it might take a little longer, because there are some theories which talks about the organizational productivity, efficiency, and how organizations work. And that's why starting to have such portals and work from home jobs portals maybe might delay. But yes, they are opening up. Maybe the theories might change, the researches might change, might take some time, but that's what I would want to say. And if anyone has knows any other portal and they would want to add on to this chat, please do. Sushma would surely highlight them, but at least I'm not aware of anything where specifically you can find jobs which is work from home.
Yes, I agree, Sakshi. But it's just that you stay active on LinkedIn or some other social platforms, because there so many people are posting so many jobs. Sometimes I see work
Yes.
from home, like, we for some specific project it may be, or for some specific role for some time. Yes, there sometimes you get, so you need to have a close watch, I
Yeah,
would.
true. I agree. I agree.
Okay. Next question is from Nosina. The question is, I tried many websites, but no response. What could be the reason that
Uh, okay.
he or she, I'm not sure, but yeah, no response, though applied
Mhm.
through many portals.
Okay. So what I would want to highlight is what approach are you choosing? Are you choosing an average approach of applying jobs where you're not updating your details completely, or you're not paying attention to what key skills, key words are you putting on your CV, and whether it's matching your profiles where you are applying for. That's important. Um, so if you really want to stand out, you need to pay good attention to them. Please get your CV proofreaded from some expert, or get it proofreaded from your friend, someone whom you think, or maybe any experienced HR professional probably would be able to guide you a little. Uh, but take some guidance. If it is not, it's good that you've got this as a question that you're not able to get through. That means there must be something where it is you need to correct, which you need to correct. So pay attention to the basic things while you are updating. There might be many items where you are updating, but it should be detailed out. At least optimize what your searches you are looking at through the information you are putting into these portals. So wherever you are highlighted, I think go back, go through what profile you have created, go through what contact details, your experiences details, your education qualification details you have updated.
Yes, there are quite a few questions. I'll go very quick so that we
Okay,
cover
please.
at least few more, and we can close.
Sure.
Next is from Sunandan. I want to change profile. What should be the approach from retail front to back end?
Okay, I think I should ask Avil to answer this because he had been into different profiles. I think it's completely your choice. What makes you happy is what you should also think for, and what you think those. If you think that you're able to, you have those skills to contribute to that particular domain, please go ahead with it. And I think Avil, you would want to add to this query, since you have already shifted from various domains from one to other to three. So
Avil is on a
is
call right now. He
oh,
messaged, so he'll be
all
not
right.
able to respond. I would also add, like, if you are planning to go for backend, what are the skills required? Do you have it? And
Yes,
if you could bring up those skills, if it requires some courses, some upskill, then go ahead. And
yes.
yeah, like, if you are already working, then please try to look within that organization. That would be much easier rather than going to a new organization with new field, because you don't have an experience. What do you say, Sakshi, right?
I agree. I agree. I often guide my people in my organization for a lateral growth, because I think lateral growth gives you ample opportunities to learn, and an opportunity to grow in your career. So I think that's the way I look at it. Uh, so yes, better to stay in touch with people in your current organization and try to see if there are such opportunities where you can do better, and if you can be recommended for such lateral internal growths, than going out and looking at a new organization with that profile.
Thank you. Next question is from Sonali. She has asked, how can I network here to get jobs in HR?
I think LinkedIn is the best place to start networking. Look at the profiles I mean, it's not that each and every person you go and get connected, but look at those people whom you think uh, are into the domain which you are interested in, and start connecting with them. I think this region also, there you might find multiple WhatsApp groups. You can get into these WhatsApp groups, recommend, ask people to get you administered in those WhatsApp groups, and that's how I think you can network well. There are other clubs, some of the clubs where you can join in and start networking with them. But I think there are multiple platforms where you can go and network. I think the only thing is needed is the bandwidth. For me, I think it is the time is of value. So if you have, you should go ahead and network in all of these platforms. Uh,
Great. Yes.
yes.
Network is your net worth, as said.
Yes, absolutely.
Savio has, yeah, sorry.
No, thank you. I just said well said, Sushma.
Thank you. Savio has a question. He's asking, can a company declare an employee absconding if the visa is cancelled and there's a grace period of 1 month? So before finish of that 1 month grace, can company put an absconding?
So you mean to say, if first of all, if the abscond means the person is outside the country, and the visa cancellation can happen only if the person has been outside the country for more than 6 months. If the person enters the country, if the cancellation will be applied 1 month before, it will not be considered as absconding, and it will be considered that the person had been in the country but did not come to the organization or did not inform the organization. So it would still be absconding, but it would be probably the route which the HR might take would be on termination under Article 120.
Yeah.
And then probably can cancel your visa immediately. That can be immediately done.
Yes. Just to highlight, Sakshi, he's asking the visa is cancelled.
Visa is cancelled.
Yeah, and there is a grace period of after that. There's a grace period of 30
1
days.
month.
Yeah.
30 days, not necessarily. It comes some. So if you are during the probation, it could be just 3 days also. So you need to really. I mean, there it is 28 days. Yes.
Yeah, and also if the visa is expiring when you are cancelling, then also it is just the number of days remaining to expire, and
Yes.
not the 30 days. Yes.
Yes.
So he's saying if company is not allowing to stay for those 30 days, how to tackle that? Is there a way to sort this out?
If the company is not allowing to stay, in the sense, stay in the region?
Yes, for those 30 days.
Okay. So ideally, you are eligible for that grace period. That grace period is for you to look for jobs and get a visa get yourself a sponsor for your visa. If you do not get change status done, as I mentioned, the change status, unless you have a change status and that has been submitted to your previous employer, so unless it is done, they might end up having some fines which they might ask you to pay. So you can get the extension if you had a visa already. Obviously, the fine per day will go up to 25 dirhams per day, or so. Probably you can check from the regulatory bodies. So you can choose an option of telling to your employer that I'll take care of my fine, but I need to stay here, and you probably have a prospective employer, and they are taking some time for the visa application. So in that case, you can take this, or else I would rather recommend, once if your grace period is ending, you take up the visit visa for the period, so that you are safe, and so you can submit your visit visa documents to your previous employer, and I think that would be a good go ahead for them to be relieved that you are no more on their visa, for them to be worried about because you were sponsored by the previous employer.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next question is from Isaac from Ghana. Should we apply from recruitment agency? If yes, then which one would be the ideal? Because I have been to some with no response.
Okay. Isaac, I would recommend there are the portals are enough have enough opportunities where you can go and apply. It's not necessary that you need to go through a recruitment consultant. The portals are enough to give you the vacant positions background and then update and unless yes, if you want a consultant to help you with proofreading your CV, your cover letter, and guiding you in the initial phase, you can do that. But I believe the market, and I believe so. You also mentioned about the accounting profiles, right? So you will have good opportunities in this region on this profile for sure. So look at these portals, all the portals as I mentioned during this session. So you will be able to surely crack something.
Sure. Thank you. One last question from Anil. He has said that he sees some vacancies on LinkedIn. Say it is posted now. Again, after some time, again company will be posting the same vacancy over a period of time. Is it because they for publicity of the company, or is it that they don't find the perfect fit?
I think some of the organizations they what they do is they also prefer an internal job portals, job boards to hire people within internal team. And some of these organizations also plan to look at the skill set they can take from outside. So in such case, some of these big organizations also you would see the position will keep coming. One, because they are trying both the ways. Their first preference obviously will be the internal, but they also are looking at candidates outside to see whether the right talent, to find the right talent, I would say. It could be, yes, there are some organizations which might be doing it for showing that they are active recruiters, I think, but to my what my experience had been, I think I have seen some of the big organizations, they go ahead for such positions only when they feel that the internal resource might or might not survive or suffice for that particular position. So they want to know if there is a right talent outside as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more question from Shalini. Is age a factor in UAE? Because she's trying for a job for 3 years, but not finding so far as an office manager or PA.
Mm-hmm. I think many organizations here they are quite sensitive on any age discrimination or any kind of discrimination, and it's a multi. You would say you would know UAE has a good diversity. So obviously the big organizations, they have their policies in place which talks about no discriminations on age or race or religion. But there might be some other organizations where this could be one of the key factors which they might be looking at to onboard someone with which probably most of these jobs recruiters might not mention it on the JD or may. But yes, some of these positions, yes, these organizations, they have a bank. They do look for people who are at a particular age level, also with an intention to know whether they can show any career growth or a career path to that concerned employee who's going to be onboarded. So that could be one of the things. And I would still recommend there are new ways of highlighting your skills. Maybe a short video on a LinkedIn on your profile can be done, which you can where you can showcase your contribution, which probably try to look for some different ways where you can highlight and brand yourself, which can help you to get some calls. So that is what I would recommend.
Sure. Thank you for your responses. I know there were so many questions, and I have noted all of them and thrown to you, and it was great.
Great. Thank
for
you so
your
much
time.
for that, because I think I'm not yet so well versed with the chats here. I have been seeing, but thank you for making it very easy for me. Thank you for all your support throughout this journey while I had to present it here.
Thank you. Thank you, Sakshi. So it was a wonderful session, and we saw so much of chat, so much of appreciation, so many thank yous. So that's for you all. And there's a virtual bouquet here from us for you.
Thank you.
Speaker today with this amazing session. And we are here every week just because of the audience. This is where it makes a difference. These are the questions which you have asked that has given so much of knowledge and information to everybody on this session. Thank you for being here and being here every week as well. So
yes,
you can
I would like to be there in the next of the sessions, which I probably must have missed. I would surely go and see as well. Thank you so much for inviting me. And,
thank you, Sakshi. So here are some of the social platforms where you can follow us on Telegram, Facebook, website, and Instagram as well. So please join us here on various platforms. This program is empowered by BrainCity as well as DJH. So here is the QR code for BrainCity, and they have a portal as well, braincity.com. They are on YouTube, same Instagram. So please join them. Okay,
sure.
so this is just for next week, 4th of March. That will be the next episode. And here is my thank you to everyone being here, the audience, the speaker, the team members, the BrainCity, and DJH. Stay safe, stay blessed. See you all next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.